The drum of truth. It was the darkest night, not that it mattered because she would have done this at high noon under the blazing sun. It was her right, she thought. It was her heritage. It was her secret. It was in her blood. These are the things that worked. These are the things that her mother and her aunt and all the women in her family did before her. They are the ones who taught her this. They are all gone now. But this is the legacy they left for her. There is no one left but her. She's on her own, except her mother's brother, her uncle Cato. Sometimes he helps her. Sometimes she helps him. But they don't spend too much time together. They each have their own interests. I wouldn't trust him, would you? But she trusts the other old man, the one at the table. The old man at the table knows her name. She's been here so many times before, even as a little girl her mother brought her here. The old man knew she'd come back. She had to. It's built in to whatever they get the first time. They must come back. It is how he stays in business, but they don't see that. All they see is they have a need, and this old man knows how to help them get what they want. They bring him money, but that is not really what he wants. He takes the money, but that is not all he takes, yet they never see it. None of them. So they keep coming back, and they keep allowing him to take precious things from them without their knowledge. It's sad, really. Satisfied that she got what she came for, she clutched the small item in her hand and slipped it into her pocket to be used at another time to get something she wanted. And what did she want? What did she want this time? Because she had come to this place to get the last 3 things she wanted, and she felt very successful and very empowered because she got those things. All of them. In the bustling kingdom of Zuberi, where the sun gleamed off golden domes and vibrant markets hummed with life, a legend persisted about a sacred drum called the Drum of Truth. It is rumored to have been crafted from the hide of a lion. It was enchanted by the kingdom's first priestess, and it could reveal lies. If this drum was struck by a person with a pure heart, in the presence of deceit, it would emit a thunderous roar instead of a beat. It was reserved only for moments of the utmost importance. The drummer kept himself or herself pure expressly for the purpose of striking this drum when the need arose. Safiya is walking through the lively Marikiti market in Nairobi on a sunny Saturday morning. Vendors call out their offerings, piles of ripe mangoes, fresh chapati sizzling on griddles, and woven baskets stacked in brilliant hues. The scent of roasted maize and spices lingers in the air. Women in colorful kangas carry goods atop their heads, and children weave through the crowd, playing. As Safiya entered the market square, she noticed how busy it was. She noticed that there were very nice things for sale in this town. Very nice things. This was not a poor kingdom. She looked around at all the vendors, then the shoppers. They were poised and well-dressed. Yes, this was not a poor kingdom. She had come to a very prosperous place. This could work very well for her. Like the last 2 times, she'd never have to work or worry another day in her life. She had enough gold and jewels stashed away to live extravagantly for 10 or 20 lifetimes, if that is what she wanted to do. She felt that, with her secret old man at the table, that she could do that if she wanted to. She felt invincible, as if she could do anything. She would just go ask the old man at the table and take him some money. Not living forever, but getting a new husband was her latest goal. And there he is, right on time. Unlike ordinary royalty, the prince of this kingdom would leave the palace and come out on market day just to see the people of the kingdom and make himself accessible to them. His entourage arrived, the palace guards, and the prince himself. He was breathtakingly handsome. He looked to be about 25 years old. Safiya thought about herself. She was 30, but still very beautiful. Could she? Would she? Did she dare go for the prince as a romantic interest? As the prince began to visit a few booths at the market, Safiya positioned herself so that they would just happen to bump into one another. "Oh, excuse me, my prince." The prince took one look and was love-struck. "Pardon me, miss?" "Yes, I am Safiya. Are you new here?" "Yes, I am." "Miss?" "Yes, miss. I am not married. Perhaps you can come to the palace this evening for dinner. Yes, my prince, that would be wonderful. The prince felt proud and empowered and successful to have spoken to such a beautiful woman and gotten a date with her the same night. Tonight is the night. Safiya walked away and put her left hand in her pocket and clutched the small item she got at midnight in the house she had been to many times before. She clutched the item and smiled as if she was talking to the thing in her hand. You did good. You did real good. Not paying attention to where she was walking, she nearly bumped into an ornate drum in the center of the marketplace. It was there to make sure those selling goods and those buying goods were being honest with one another and not deceitful. Just the presence of the drum made those who knew about it behave themselves. For those who did not know, just thought it was a very beautiful drum. Safiya had no idea that she would run into this drum again very soon. Safiya arrived at the palace gates in a stunning evening gown, and she was there to impress. She held a small bag that contained certain items that are particular to women, but she also had a small item that she had gotten from the secret priest whose house she had gone to that midnight. I want to meet the Prince of Zuberi Kingdom. He's single, right? Even if he's not, we must make him single. He's single and looking to be married. I want to marry him. Make me a charm, that I will be irresistible to him, and that he will not have eyes for anyone else once he sees me. Make him like a little puppy. Make him my puppet. Safiya was deciding where she would put the charm that the old man made up for her once she entered the palace. She wanted to make herself so enticing and so seductive that she would end up in his bedroom this night. Yes, she would hide it there. That's why she had on what she wore, low-cut, body-fitting dress that showed all of her assets in the front and the back. This was a dramatic change because she looked like a sweet, innocent girl by day. But this night, she turned into a seductress. After drinking an entire bottle of wine, they both were feeling tipsy. He doesn't even know that she led him to his bedroom. He thought it was his idea and that he was leading her, but he had to have this woman. He had to. There was no way around it. In a few minutes he had passed out from exhaustion, wine, and exuberance. She took the charm and hid it securely in his bedroom. The maids wouldn't find it. The prince himself wouldn't find it. She had him, and that was easy. As usual, she thought. These charms always work, she mused to herself. She got dressed and left. She wanted to not be there when he awoke in the morning, so he would miss her. She was very confident that he would send for her again. Prince Bashiri awoke the next morning with a smile on his face and Safiya on his mind. The future king knew without a doubt that he had found his future bride and queen. Safiya, he kept repeating her name, reminiscing about last night and smiling broadly. Safiya, a commoner with striking beauty and a silver tongue, had caught the prince's attention at the market that day. Their whirlwind romance led to an engagement. The prince announced his engagement at a lavish party at the palace, but this announcement scandalized the kingdom. Safiya was very beautiful, but appeared to be a little older than the prince, so it was rumored that she may not be able to produce an heir. She might be too old. And what did the prince see in her anyway? Well, take a look at what he saw in her. But whispers began to spread in the royal court. Safiya was accused of using forbidden charms to enchant the prince. More damningly, rumors surfaced that she was not the humble merchant's daughter she claimed to be, but a thief who had fled from another kingdom. Despite the warnings, Prince Bashiri dismissed the accusations. Preposterous, he exclaimed to his father the king, and anyone else who would listen. The prince was blinded by love, and that charm. The king, however, was not so trusting, but he allowed his son to choose his own bride. Without Prince Bashiri knowing it, the king ordered the drum of truth to be used during the wedding. He wanted the best for his son and figured this would satisfy and quiet the gossipers once and for all. This drum would be used at the ceremony to prove Safiya's innocence. The kingdom buzzed with anticipation. On the wedding day, Safiya walked down the aisle alone, but in a dazzling gown. There was no one left of her family to give her away. Not that she hadn't been given away several times already, but no one knew that this Lord Cato was actually her uncle, and that's the way they had decided to play this heist. But beneath her radiant smile, she harbored a terrible secret. She was indeed a fraud. Not only was she not who she claimed to be, but she was also working with her uncle who had assumed the persona of a nobleman, Lord Cato, to infiltrate the royal family and steal the kingdom's treasures. As the ceremony proceeded, the high priestess announced the use of the drum of truth. Safiya hesitated, her confident demeanor faltering. There was something about this drum that made her uneasy. She felt unsettled whenever she was around it. She wasn't afraid, after all. But the old man at the table, the old priest was her covering, and as said, she felt invincible, unstoppable. But now was the time for the palace priestess to sound the instrument. When the priestess struck the drum, a deafening roar echoed through the palace. It competed with the shrill scream of Safiya and the gasps of the attendees. Safiya blurted out, "I did it. I did it. I hid it. The charm is in the prince's bedroom, but you will never find it." Safiya knew at the moment the charm had exploded and would only be found as dust in the prince's chambers. She tried to continue, but was getting weak. Her last whisper, "Lord Cato." She dropped dead before she could finish her last sentence. The audience gasped again. Chaos followed. All the guards searched the palace and grounds for Lord Cato. Prince Bashiri, devastated and furious, ordered him captured. Meanwhile, Lord Cato, realizing his scheme had been exposed, attempted to escape with the stolen treasures. But the palace guards intercepted and overtook him. Lord Cato didn't care that Safiya had died. He was only interested in saving himself and getting away with all the valuables he could steal. After the turmoil, Prince Bashiri addressed the kingdom. With tears in his eyes, he admitted his mistake. "I ignored the advice of those who love me and failed to see the truth because I was blinded by what I wanted to believe. Let this be a lesson for us all. Love without honesty is an illusion, and trust must be earned. Do not rush into things where time is your greatest ally." Safiya was laid to rest, while Prince Bashiri didn't know if he was sad that she died or happy that he didn't fall into her trap. Lord Cato was sentenced to exile, their betrayal serving as a cautionary tale for the people. The drum of truth was enshrined as a reminder that integrity must always triumph over deceit. Truth can defeat the works of darkness. The kingdom eventually healed, and Prince Bashiri vowed to rule with wisdom and fairness, having learned the value of discernment. The tale of the drum of truth ends with this poignant question. How often do we ignore the truth because it doesn't align with what we want to believe? Let's strive to see beyond appearances and honor truth in our lives.